This is the AB4WS radio show. Every week, bringing you the exciting amateur radio news and information happening in the greater Cincinnati, Ohio, Kentucky, and Indiana areas.
The AB4WS radio show can be found on the Apple Podcast app or your favorite podcast application. And now also available on the AB4WS radio show YouTube channel. The Dayton Hamvention has announced the Amateur Radio Operator of the Year as none other than Union, Kentucky's own Neil Rapp, WB9VPG. Tim Duffy, K3LR of DX Engineering, had Michael Coulter, WHCI, on the Typical Tuesday show on the DX Engineering YouTube channel, where Michael announced the Hamvention Awards for 2025. The Technical Achievement Award goes to Dr. Christina Collins, KD80XT, who is actively involved in the Hamsci group. The Special Achievement Award goes to Julio Rapol, WD4R, who handles WX4NHC, who has spent 45 years handling the amateur radio station at the National Hurricane Center, handling hurricane communications. The Club of the Year is the RV Radio Network, who have been in existence for over 40 years. Today they have over 450 members. And announced last was the big award, the Amateur of the Year, Neil Rapp, WB9VPG. Neil started his ham radio career first being licensed at the age of 5 years old. Currently teaching at Xavier University in Cincinnati, Ohio. A former high school teacher introducing over 3,600 youth to amateur radio, and a few years ago was a fundamental in founding the YODA, or Youth on the Air group, which concentrates on ham radio for those under 25 years of age. Neil is also heard on Amateur Radio Newsline and his former podcast, Ham Talk Live. In 2021, Neil was awarded the prestigious Carol Perry Educator of the Year Award at Hamcation. Neil lives in Union, Kentucky, and is a member of the Northern Kentucky Amateur Radio Club. Check out Neil's QRZ page for some early photos of Neil. A big congratulations to WB9VPG. This past week, the Amateur Radio Emergency Team of Northern Kentucky was very active. First, many members participated in checking into the National Weather Service Skywarn N8 NWS net on the 146.88 repeater for the Kentucky Tornado Test. The net had 19 check-ins, more than I've ever heard before. A great job! Then on Saturday afternoon, the Amateur Radio Emergency Team of Northern Kentucky tested their call-out procedures with a radio exercise on the 146.79 repeater. The exercise was very successful and several lessons were learned. They hope that all licensed amateur radio operators will be interested in joining them in this important community service. They invite you to come to the meeting on March 24th at 7 p.m. at the Bethesda Community Church, 989 East Mount Zion Road in Independence, Kentucky, to learn more about how you can use your amateur radio equipment to assist in times of need. Happy 97th birthday to WHCXU Frank Prager, who has been an active ham radio operator for over 75 years. Listen out for him on the South Cars Net, where he is the net control, still going strong. Congratulations to Dave Whittle, N4FND, who received the Lifetime Achievement Award from the Bullock County Amateur Radio Society, KY4KY, and is also the newest lifetime member. Paddle Fest will be held on the weekend of August 2nd, and are looking for some amateur radio volunteers to assist in managing and deploying FRS radios to be used during this year's event. If you would like to volunteer to help out, please contact Rick Halderman, KD4PYR at KD4PYR@fuse.net. Steve, NATFD, is looking for volunteers to help with the communications at the Flying Pig Marathon events. Friday night, May 2nd, is the 1-mile race. Saturday, May 3rd, is the 10K and 5K. And Sunday, May 4th, is the full marathon, half marathon, and relay. If you're interested in helping out for this great event, contact Steve, NATFD, at NATFD@fuse.net, or give him a call at 859-393-6563. Have you completed the official Weather Spotter training courses from the National Weather Service? This is one of the most beneficial courses you will ever take. The National Weather Service in Wilmington, Ohio will host a virtual training class on March 18th from 7 to 9 p.m. The National Weather Service in Wilmington, Ohio will hold an in-person spotter classes in Richmond, Indiana on March 17th, Wilmington, Ohio on March 19th. On April 9th at Grove Event Center, 9158 Winton Road in Cincinnati, Ohio, and in Alexandria, Kentucky on April 22nd. To sign up for any of the Storm Spotter training classes, you must register in advance at weather.gov/ILN/spotter training schedule. The Dayton Amateur Radio Association, also known as DARA, has scheduled amateur radio instruction for all 3 licensed classes. The technician classes begin on Saturday, March 22nd from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. and continue for the next 4 Saturdays at the DARA Clubhouse, 6619 Bellefontaine Road. General class instruction begins on Saturday, April 19th for the next 4 Saturdays at the DARA Clubhouse. The extra class instruction is also called the Extreme Boot Camp, and it's held at the Hamvention on Friday and Saturday morning. Registration instructions are on the DARA website at w8pi.org. The Monix Group will meet on March 15th at 6 p.m. at the Donato's Pizza on Donnemar Drive in Bellevue, Kentucky. The Northern Kentucky Amateur Radio Club Breakfast will be held on March 15th at 9 a.m. down on the farm at Bob Evans on Dream Street in Florence, Kentucky. Have you ever wanted to learn all about fox hunting from a real expert? Well, on March 17th, the Northern Kentucky Amateur Radio Club will be meeting at 7 p.m. at the Bethesda Community Church, 989 East Mount Zion Road in Independence, Kentucky. And the foremost authority on fox hunting, Dick Arnett, WB4SUV, will be giving a presentation on various types of fox hunting, the equipment needed, and some successful techniques to locate hidden transmitters. He will cover ways to perform transmitter hunts, along with specialty equipment that you can use for hunting intentional and non-intentional interference. Dick will also answer all your questions concerning fox hunting. Dick is an internationally known expert in fox hunting and is one of the primary presenters on the topic at many of the international gatherings, including the Dayton Hamvention. This is open to everyone, and you don't have to be a member to come and learn. This is in preparation for the Northern Kentucky Amateur Radio Club first annual fox hunt, which will be held appropriately at the Fox Run Park in Independence, Kentucky on March 29th at 9:30 a.m. In case of rain, it'll be moved to April 5th. Looking to upgrade to extra class? Well, the Cuyahoga Falls Amateur Radio Club is holding free online classes live via Zoom starting March 23rd and running for the next 7 Sundays from 1:30 to 4 p.m. To sign up, go to tiny.cc/BEAHAMX. On March 24th, the Amateur Radio Emergency Team in Northern Kentucky will be meeting at 7 p.m. with another presentation from the training team about effective deployment preparation at the Bethesda Community Church, 989 East Mount Zion Road in Independence, Kentucky. Training team will discuss why the ARET-NKY exists and what you can do as an amateur radio operator to prepare to assist when needed in emergencies, and how you can be prepared to effectively assist the agency's KY6ET assists in times of need. Amateur radio volunteers are needed to help with the Xenia Marathon, half marathon, and 10K races on Sunday, April 6th, starting at 8 a.m. These amateur radio volunteers will provide communications assistance along the course, reporting the progress of the race leaders, race information, and assist in communicating injuries and the need of assistance and logistical issues that develop, assisting the race marshals. To volunteer, you need a 2-meter transceiver with a decent antenna and spare batteries. An earpiece is recommended as well. They'll be using the X1 repeater on 147.165 with a PL tone of 123.0. If you need a transceiver, they may be able to help and assist with a loaner for the event. If you are interested, please contact Bob Baker, N8ADO, at n8ado.bob@gmail.com. The Ukiah Amateur Radio Society and the Queen City Emergency Net are discussing ways to celebrate World Amateur Radio Day on this 100th anniversary of IARU, April 18th. They're looking to find a public place to set up and celebrate while demonstrating the wonderful world of amateur radio to the general public. They're looking for a venue to accomplish this on Saturday, April 19th, perhaps the Cincinnati Museum Center, and also looking for volunteers like you to support this event. They're thinking it will run from about 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. If you're interested in participating, contact Tom Delaney, W8WTD. Would you like to see what your fellow amateur radio operators have put together as their Go Kits for portable operations? Or perhaps you've put together a Go Kit for portable operations and would like to share your experience with others? Well, come on out to the Northern Kentucky Amateur Radio Club meeting on April 21st at 7 p.m., where it will be a group effort presentation called Show and Tell. Show us your portable Go Kit, our favorite HT. Members will be asked to explain their Go Kit and the reasons why they chose the equipment they did and what occasions they have utilized their equipment and lessons they've learned from that experience. It's always a huge learning experience for everyone, so come on out.
Repeater news.
Are you looking for the most up-to-date list of repeaters in the greater Cincinnati area? Well, I have an Excel spreadsheet where I've listed repeaters that are active in the area, separated by tabs for each band or mode, so you can easily look for just DMR repeaters or 2-meter analog repeaters and so on. The list includes 2 meters, 220, 440, 6 meters, D-Star, DMR, C4FM, P25, and some other classifications. Every time I update the file, I include the date and the file name so that you know you have the latest update. To download the file, go to the AB4WS Radio Show Facebook page and go to the file section and download the file. If you're not on Facebook, email me at ab4ws.radio@gmail.com and I can email you the latest file. If you see any errors, problems, additions, or corrections, email that information to ab4ws.radio@gmail.com. David, 84cc, continues to work on and improve the WW4KY repeaters now in Walton, Kentucky. The 224.400 repeater is now connected to an All-Star node, node number 61054, and EchoLink WW4KY-R. Best of my knowledge, this is the first repeater with All-Star connectivity in Northern Kentucky and one of the few in the greater Cincinnati area. Now you can check into the little event on Wednesday nights about 8:15 p.m. where KF8PO takes check-ins early for the big event on 224.62 at 8:30 from us Kentucky operators who cannot hit the Cincinnati repeater. So now you can even check in at 8:15 over All-Star or EchoLink. Check it out. A group of Yaesu C4FM guys have been talking C4FM on Simplex on 145.5625 using the group monitoring and beacon mode. Listen out for KCTM, KF8PO, KQ4UUR, and others, and check out this neat method of communications on C4FM.
Hamfest.
On March 16, 2025, the Toledo Mobile Radio Association will hold Hamfest 2025 from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Owens Community College Student Health and Activity Center, 7315 Championship Drive in Perrysburg, Ohio. For more information, go to w8hhf.org. March 22nd, 2025 is the 49th annual Cave City Hamfest. Gates open at 7:30 a.m. Central Time at the Cave City Convention Center in Cave City, Kentucky, just off I-65 at exit 53. Talking on the 146.940 repeater with a PL tone of 114.8. The 69th annual Hamfest Electronic and Computer Show will be held on April 5th, 2025 at the Medio & Sons Party Center, 48 East Bath Street in Cuyahoga Falls, Ohio, from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. For more information, go to cfarc-hamfest.org. Also on April 5th is the E-Town Hamfest at the State Fire and Rescue Training Facility, 630 College Street Road in Elizabethtown, Kentucky. Talk in on the 146.980 repeater. April 26th is the Tusco Amateur Radio Club 2025 Hamfest Computer and Electronics Show at the Tuscarawas County Fairgrounds, 259 South Tuscarawas Avenue in Dover, Ohio. For more information, go to w8zx.net/Hamfest. On April 27th is the Athens Hamfest at the Athens Community Center, 701 East State Street in Athens, Ohio. For more information, go to ac-ara.org. On May 10th through May 15th is the RV Radio Network Rally at the Baylor Beach Park, 8777 Manchester Avenue Southwest in Navarro, Ohio. Talk in on 146.52 Simplex. Tickets are now on sale for the Dayton Hamvention, May 16th, 17th, and 18th, 2025 at the Greene County Fairgrounds in Xenia, Ohio. The 2025 theme is Radio Independence, celebrating the evolution and freedom of radio in today's world. For more information, go to hamvention.org.
Are you looking to upgrade your license? Do you have someone else that's interested in the hobby? Here are some upcoming exam opportunities.
The Milford Amateur Radio Club holds amateur radio testing on the third Thursday of each month at 6 p.m. at the Miami Township Civic Center, 6101 Meyer Drive in Milford, Ohio. Please pre-register at milfordhamradio.org. The Dayton Amateur Radio Association has exams frequently. For their exam schedule, email exams.w8bi@gmail.com. On March 17th at 5:30 p.m., the Northern Kentucky Amateur Radio Club will hold an amateur radio exam session at the Bethesda Community Church, 989 East Mount Zion Road in Independence, Kentucky. You must pre-register by emailing Mark Volstad, AI4BJ, at mvolstad@twc.com. On April 1st, 7 p.m., the Southern Kentucky Amateur Radio Transmitting Society in Logan County, Kentucky will hold an amateur radio exam session at the Logan County Search and Rescue Building, 101 North Thurston Drive in Russellville, Kentucky. Pre-register by emailing Bob, WB2UBW, at RHARRIS283@AT&T.net. On April 10th, the DeForest Amateur Radio Club will hold an amateur radio exam session at 6 p.m. at the Adams County Emergency Management Office, 31 Logans Lane in West Union, Ohio. Please pre-register by emailing K8WEH at K8WEH@ARRL.net or on the K8GE.net website. On April 12th, the Westchester Amateur Radio Association will hold an amateur radio testing session at 10 a.m. at the Voice of America Museum, 8070 Tylersville Road in Westchester, Ohio. Register by emailing exams at wc8voa.org. On May 3rd, the Dial Amateur Radio Club will hold an amateur radio testing session at 6 p.m. at 3806 Manchester Road in Middletown, Ohio. Pre-register at hamstudy.org/sessions. On June 12th, the DeForest Amateur Radio Club will hold an amateur radio exam session at 6 p.m. at the Adams County Emergency Management Office, 31 Logans Lane in West Union, Ohio. Please pre-register by emailing K8WEH at K8WEH@ARRL.net or on the K8GE.net website. On August 14th, the DeForest Amateur Radio Club will hold an amateur radio exam session at 6 p.m. at the Adams County Emergency Management Office, 31 Logans Lane in West Union, Ohio. Please pre-register by emailing K8WEH at K8WEH@ARRL.net or check in on the K8GE.net website. On October the 9th, the DeForest Amateur Radio Club will hold an amateur radio exam session at 6 p.m. at the Adams County Emergency Management Office, 31 Logans Lane in West Union, Ohio. Please pre-register by emailing K8WEH at K8WEH@ARRL.net or on the K8GE.net website. On December 11th, the DeForest Amateur Radio Club will hold an amateur radio exam session at 6 p.m. at the Adams County Emergency Management Office, 31 Logans Lane in West Union, Ohio. Please pre-register by emailing K8WEH at K8WEH@ARRL.net or on the K8GE.net website. Special thanks to this week's content contributors: AB8GJ, W8WTD, WX4GPS, KN4COE, KY4GW, WB8YYS, KD8ZLD, K9HIO, N8LAR, K4NKU.
If you have something you think other amateur radio operators in the area would be interested in, send the information or your recorded audio file attached in an email to ab4ws.radio@gmail.com.
Covering your amateur radio news and information in the greater Cincinnati, Ohio, Kentucky, and Indiana tri-state area. This is Jack Prindle, AB4WS in Big Bone, Kentucky.